That's right. Say it again?
How did it feel out there today?
Oh, it was great. Definitely a difference just having people out there. It just brings a different energy, a different fun. It breaks up the monotony of, early training camp. So it was good to have everyone out there.
How the quarterbacks look?
I didn't think you were going to ask about them. Quarterbacks look great, man. I think they've all come along, in their different stages. I think it was going into our 7-on-7 period. We emphasized completing every pass with the first group, and I think we started off 5 for 5. So I thought they'd look good out there.
Well, another quarterback question, but it seemed like both Jimmy and Trey had multiple throws where you're like, wow, not everyone can do that. A lot of teams are hoping to have one competent quarterback. Obviously, you don't know how this is going to play out, but it's going to be a good feeling that it looks like we could have two pretty competent quarterbacks.
Yeah, most definitely. I felt like just in day one, what kind of stood out to me is that they both made off-schedule plays. And I think in today's NFL, in order to be a really elite or a successful quarterback, you need to be able to make off-schedule plays. And, both of them did that with Trey putting the ball up to George on the sideline. Jimmy had a nice scramble that he threw a good ball to Ayuk, and he had another scramble to the right that I think he put on to, I think it was Ayuk as well. So just to see those guys make off-schedule plays is exciting for me.
He said he felt like Jimmy had the best OTAs that he's had. Really sharp, very aggressive. Do you feel that same energy is carried over into day one?
Yeah, I do. And you know what? I've gone on the record in saying that, just from the first day that Jimmy was here, his confidence, it just exuded out of him, and you could feel it, and that's just continued to progress. And I think that says a lot about just the character of him, being in the position that he is, and recognizing all that we gave up to move up and get Trey at the number 3 spot. That could shake a lot of people, but if it has, we haven't noticed it. Jimmy is Jimmy, and he has the same confidence that he's had from day one, and even more so.
When it comes to the playbook, each year, how much does it evolve when, based on the previous season, and how difficult is it maybe for a veteran like yourself to pick up?
Yeah, you know what? At this point, year 5, there's not a ton that changes. It really is just kind of minor details. But it's interesting. Each year, there does seem to be kind of a different theme. Just speaking from the run game, just a kind of a different theme of what becomes kind of our bread and butter that year. I know in 19, Kyle talked about it was the most gap scheme he had run in his entire career. And that, we didn't do as much in 2020, and we do seem to just find different things each year that just become a little more popular that season. But from year to year, we really do run all of it. It's just kind of what becomes our bread and butter that year.
Do you do something like that too? Do you go into each camp with a different theme, and if just to kind of keep it fresh? And if so, what is it this year? Yeah,
just personally, I do. Whether it's just focusing on my route running or getting in and out of cuts. This year, really, I just wanted to focus to continue on working on blocking in space, which I have always felt like has been a strength of mine. But there were some plays there last year that I felt like I left out on the field that could have been a little bit better. So that was something that I focused on a lot this offseason.
In the sense, like with Mike's new title, like do you expect kind of that run game to get out there a little bit more and be more creative and innovative?
Yeah, I feel like we already are one of the most creative run teams in the NFL, but I don't think that can stop us from being even more creative. And like you said, with Mike having that title and already being so involved, and maybe he's just that little bit more involved, I think things could get shaken up, just a little bit.
What was it about 19 that caused you to be so gap-centric that year?
I don't know exactly, but I think a lot of it is just reacting to the defense and just what was successful early on. I remember in that first game against Tampa, we just ran a lot, probably like 8 different counter plays in that game. And I can't think back of, another game with Kyle that we ran more than, like 2 or 3. So it was very successful in that first game of the season, and I think teams were scheming us for that wide zone because that's what Kyle is known for, and the gap scheme can really take advantage of that. So I think we kind of surprised Tampa in that first game, and then that was successful, and then we just kind of continued to roll with it, and it worked out really well that year.
You've added some offensive linemen. I mean, you got a big guy at right guard potentially, and your second-round pick. I mean, do you foresee more gap stuff in the future, more power just because of the personnel you added?
I think it's possible. I have noticed just a difference in the makeup of the offensive line. It was evident in OTAs, just the different size of guys. Just when you get in the huddle, it's, wow, all right, we got quite the group in front of us that looks a little bit different than it did early on. So I think maybe that's a possibility, but it's hard to say on day one.
When you look at last year at this time as compared to today, is there a different kind of level of energy and optimism going into the season?
Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of that even just has to do with the circumstances of COVID and being able to be around each other more and have you guys out there and just feel the energy and that kind of stuff. So I think that plays into it a lot. And I also think that just in having the season that we did last year, that we felt like we just underachieved so much. Everybody was just so hungry and excited to get back here and just get back to football. So I think adding that all up really did bring a different energy today.
On the theme of the new look offensive line, you also have Alex Mack there now, who has been known as kind of the brain of Shanahan's offensive line. Have you, in the film room, noticed the kind of impact that he might be able to have on the creativity of the run game?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, his intelligence stands out right away when you talk with Alex. And even today, just hearing him coming off after a few plays and talking to Jimmy just about different things that they can do just with the center quarterback exchange. But I've also seen differences in kind of how we want to, I don't want to give away everything here, but how we want to attack the defense with him. So I do think that he can add another element to the offense.
We haven't talked to Trey Sermon a whole lot. What's he like to work with? And stylistically, can he be somebody that complements Raheem Mostert in a way, maybe takes a little bit of load off him and allows him to maybe be a little bit more productive?
Yeah, definitely. I've really enjoyed being around Trey so far. He exudes a quiet confidence to him. He's not too much of a chatterbox out there. He's and part of that may be just being a rookie and just wanting to kind of feel out the space and learn everyone's personality. But so far, it's just been a quiet confidence, and I've just been impressed with how he's been shoved into a lot of reps with the first team right away. With Jeff going down and Raheem missing a few practices during OTAs, and he's handled it really well. He's very intelligent, just very calm. The game's not too big for him, and you can sense that from him. So I got a lot of hope for him, and I think he's going to do a really good job.
This is kind of out of left field, but there's been, in recent years, a lot of prominent athletes have talked about mental health and mental health struggles, and obviously last month it's a lot of prominent, it's been even more so in the news. I don't know, have you sensed any sort of shift in the NFL about guys just, amongst themselves, going to, whoever the team has on site to talk about stuff, if that's changed recently or not?
Yeah, no, I do feel it. I just feel more openness to talk about it, and guys just being real with each other and being able to open up to one another. And it's kind of hard to describe other than that, just that you feel like guys are more open and willing to talk about that stuff.
George mentioned yesterday that he spent some time at Juszczyk up in New York.
Yeah, he did.
Do you get the feeling that, I don't know if bounce back is the right word, but last year not the kind of year he wanted to have after signing the new contract. What kind of year do you expect him to have, and is there ways he can maybe take it to another level?
Yeah, I expect a huge year from George. I know I'm up here just pumping up everybody, and everyone's going to have a great year. But I genuinely believe it, and I see an even different determination in George. I know he wasn't happy with how the team did, but even I think he felt like he could have done even better. And I have just seen that different determination in his eyes, and I think that, obviously we all know what George can do. The sky is the limit for him. So, yeah, I think George is going to go out there and be George.
Kyle, I know it's day one, but, Kyle was talking about it at the draft that Bobby Turner didn't think he was going to get another running back, and then they sort of surprised him.
Mm-hmm.
What have you sort of sensed about his energy level and working with those two rookies?
He seems very excited, and I think it's a testament to Elijah and Trey and just what they've been able to do. I spoke about Trey's just kind of quiet confidence and his intelligence, and Elijah is very similar in that way too, and that neither of them seem to be overwhelmed at all. It's been impressive for two rookies to come in, to this offense, which how complex it can be and how much can be put on your shoulders. Both of them have handled it just really well, and I think there's a lot of talent there. And I think going back to we talked about earlier, I think those guys can complement each other, and I think they can complement Raheem running style. They all bring a little something different to the table. So I think we got a really good group there.
How much can you help Trey Lance learn the offense like you have with Jimmy Garoppolo? What's your relationship with him right now?
Yeah, you know what? It's for me, not being a quarterback and not being in the room with them every day. I can really just kind of offer more of a veteran advice and it really, if anything, put him more at ease than teaching him specific stuff. I'm not going to, after the play, I'm not putting his arm around him and telling him, hey, you got to go 1-2 here. Come on, that's that's not going to be my role. Honestly, one of my first conversations with Trey, I tried to ease his mind a little bit and let him know that those first OTAs as a rookie, you're going to be swimming. Every one of us is. It doesn't matter if you're the number 3 overall pick. There's just a lot to learn. But I reassured him that once you go through those OTAs and you learn all that and you get away from it, it's when you come back that things really start to get cemented in your head, and that's when things really start to process quicker. And I felt like I saw a little bit that from him today, and things start to become a little bit second nature once you can get away from it and come back.
When the team first made the trade, was there talk among the players or anybody in the locker room like, man, this might be a little bit awkward given like the expectations you guys have for the season while also making a move like that to get a quarterback?
Yeah, you know what? I feel like I can be realistic here and say, yeah, we have those discussions. We all are close with Jimmy, and we've been through a lot with him, and we want to be able to support both of them because, at the end of the day, we want what's best for the team, but we have personal relationships here, too. We're not all a bunch of robots. So, there's that balance of being able to support both, and, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. You can support both of them and be good teammates to both of them and want the best for everybody at the same time.
Kyle, don't you think it is your place to talk to Trey Lance about quarterback sneaks?
Yes, I do feel qualified in that area, and hopefully, I can give him a few reps and show him how it's done again this year.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Hey, Faithful, subscribe to our YouTube channel.